the Mets are not good enough. Period. Don't need to elaborate. Nor will they be good enough. Period. Don't need to elaborate. I just don't. I think you feel it. I think you see it. And I think deep down you know it. And if not, I think you'll know it soon. That's the bad news. So, bad news delivered early. Sorry to be the deliverer of bad news out of the chute, Mr. Hoffman and Met fans, but now here comes the good news. And I think you're going to like this. The Mets, they've got to be bold. They got to be bold here. The New York Mets can go from going nowhere to going somewhere really fast. And it's not about getting Ohtani. That might happen. Nope. It's actually easier than that. What they do is, like Yankee fans have been screaming for Hicks and IKF to get lost, the Mets, maybe a little more nicely because I don't think that the venom is quite as strong for some of these guys I'm about to mention like it is for Hicks. Kana, got to go. Guillorme, got to go. Vogelback, got to go. Just go. The reason the Mets aren't good enough is because those guys are playing too much. What should happen, and what I think is going to happen, I actually believe that this will happen for a team that is not pitching well, is not hitting, base running's a mess. Nimmo, what are you doing? I mean, the guy never tries to steal, and he tries to steal in that situation. Made no sense. They've lost 9 of 11. They've got a negative run differential all of a sudden. The Mets just aren't good. You know when the Mets will be good? When they tell those veterans to go and they bring up the kids. Let me hit you with a lineup. You ready? Leading off, Nimmo. This is what I would do. Batting second, Lindor. Batting third, McNeil. Batting fourth, Alonso. Batting fifth, Beatty. Batting sixth, Marte. Batting seventh, Mauricio. Batting eighth, Vientos. Batting ninth, for now, you know, the Alvarez-Nito combination, eventually Narvaez and Alvarez. That is the lineup that will get the Mets to the playoffs. If they continue to, and they're not going to win the division no matter what. Braves are absolutely better. Said it for a while. You know this. Don't need to be repetitive. So the Mets have two choices right now. They can stand pat and remain stagnant and remain very unimpressive and for large swaths of the season look bad. I mean, they might fool you a little bit and, win 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5. But without change, they will ultimately fail. Not good enough. Nobody wants to see Kana. Nobody wants to see Guillorme. Nobody wants to see a singles hitter who looks like Babe Ruth and runs like Steve Balboni play. And that's Vogelback. Nobody wants to see this. You do want to see the star power, and they've earned it. And I got to tell you, this is one of the big differences between the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. And this favors the New York Mets. And I'm putting Volpe aside because Volpe's going to be a star, all right? The other kids, I don't know. I mean, Peraza can field. I mean, is he going to hit? Cabrera's versatile. Is he going to hit? Like we talk about the young Yankee players, and I got to be honest, I think there's a lot of exaggeration in terms of who they're going to be. I mean, I watch them every night. I don't see any power. I don't see any real thump. Like when I look at, again, Peraza, Cabrera, I'm not saying they're useless. They've got a place on the team as long as you get rid of Hicks and the other dead weight. I don't see like dynamic, young, offensive players like the Braves trot out and a few of the other better teams, the Rays, even the Orioles now. You know where I do see that? With the New York Met kids. Bring them up. Because if you don't bring them up, this summer's going to be swallowed up and the Mets are dead. 877-337-6666. So I deliver the bad news, but then I deliver the good news. Yes, Hoff.
The one thing I will disagree with you on, BT.
Yeah.
I love the young kids coming up, but isn't it too much pressure? Like we talk about, you have to bring up the kids at the right time. We're in a pressure-filled situation. The team is 500 baseball. They just got swept by the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
And now you're going to bring up Mauricio, and you're going to bring up Vientos in a spot where they're almost relying on them.
Yep, I'm going to bring up all of them. Would you rather watch Mark Canha do whatever he does every night?
But listen, the thing is that Canna at least is a professional guy. The reason why they
Professionally, he's hit 170.
But Canna's been there before. Escobar's been there before. That's the reason why they're here. That's the reason why. Last year they were able to carry this team and get 101 wins.
What
with
are
this
they
team.
doing for you now?
Well, that's
Well, there we go. I mean, that's the answer. By the way, how you doing, Hoff? You good?
Miserable.
Hoff's got a very interesting look today. Not to sidetrack this, but he comes in. First of all, he's not wearing a hat, which happens maybe, I don't know, for every 100 shows that we do, Hoff doesn't wear a hat once. He's always rocking the lid, right?
Yes.
Usually Eastchester, repping the team, right? Today, like, the hair's parted, and he's telling me he's growing it out. Like, he's trying to come across as very, I don't know, highfalutin. He's wearing this shirt that it looks like he's going on the yacht. What are you doing today? Who are you?
We have a big tour on Sunday, and I want to look good the last time on camera, just in case I don't come here on Monday.
Speaking of cameras, I heard CBS Sports Network is actually dispatching a camera crew, obviously to follow Boomer, but I'm sure we'll get a little love on the bike tour.
I'm sure you can't miss me.
That's true.
Did you wear a lid today to make up for his not wearing one?
Oh, actually, I forgot to take my skull cap off. I don't even have it on. I forgot that it's on. A little chilly in here. No, it is not by design. What should be by design is that the Mets just say, chop, 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 and cut off the dead weight. Good riddance. Here's your little severance, whatever. Here's what remains of your contract. Now we play ball. And now we trot out a lineup that feels much more dynamic. Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil, Alonso, Beatty 5, Marte, Mauricio, Vientos, and the catcher. And you roll. And by the way, the question that Hoff just asked me, it's a good question. But think about what the Mets did last year in terms of timing. Like, if you just tuned in or if you didn't really understand what Hoff said or you weren't listening, I mean, it was fairly easy to decipher. I deciphered what he meant. I don't know if you heard it. But if you think that by calling these kids up, it would put the Mets, those prospects, in a young spot, too much pressure, he's got swept by the lowly Tigers. Dude, it's May. It's May. You know when you don't bring a prospect up? This is pressurized. Oh, I don't know. When you're playing Atlanta in September and you throw a kid up there in like the worst, in the most pressurized environment that you could possibly conjure up, what they did to poor Alvarez a year ago? No. This is, in the grand scheme, a mid-May-ish elevation is as innocuous as it gets. Bring them up, and the Mets will have a season. Otherwise, you will not.